Are we live?
Yes.
Woo!
Woo!
Hey guys!
We're back.
We're back. Welcome to... You would think we would have this down by now, or at least kind of down. Welcome to the 10th episode.
Woo!
The 10th of We Don't Do Small Talk. I'm Miss Roy.
I'm Royal Color Games.
And I hope you're ready to get spooked as shit today. First...
Housekeeping.
There's a very little bit today. Last episode we talked about the sun gun. It was sodium that it was made out of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sodium. Bleep, bloop, blop. Don't forget to send in... Wow, you're sitting up so straight.
I was trying to lean back so you didn't get deleted by the...
Don't forget to send in your info dumps so we can do a listener episode. Give us that info that your friends are sick of hearing about, that you know a lot about. Anything else?
Standard disclaimer, anything that we talk about is not necessarily 100% accurate. Do your own research and form your own opinions on that. What's today's topic?
Okay. So, today's topic I chose months ago and decided it would be our Halloween episode, and then we didn't get to record before Halloween, so...
We're doing it now.
We're Halloween adjacent. We are covering the Black-Eyed Kids, or Black-Eyed Children.
It's an American cryptid? It's folklore?
We'll get into that. I know way too much about this, and the reason I picked this is, ma'am, Spoodles decided she wants camera time. The reason I picked this is that months ago... If you're not watching, Roy is currently being attacked, loved by Spoodles.
Oh, you want to fall asleep like that?
Aw, sleepy baby. Spoiledy baby. Spoodles is our cat, if you don't know yet.
She's our editor-in-chief.
Yeah, she's our editor, manager. She's in charge here.
Oh, don't puke on me.
Oh, dear.
Okay, we're good.
Okay. So months ago, Roy was puttering around on Twitter, and a really, really, really creepy video came up that actually genuinely freaked him out, and things don't freak this man out at all. It takes a lot. And it was a video of a bunch of people in random clothes. Some were kind of mostly casual, but some were like a little out of date. And all of them had jet black eyes.
Ma'am, don't lick me.
The
cat, not Miss Roy. Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
You're welcome, guys. Are you trying to get the cat on screen?
Yeah, she was hidden behind the microphone.
Oh, okay. Can we still be heard properly?
Yeah.
Okay. So, these people, they were humanoid, were walking towards the camera, which appeared to be held by someone on a balcony or through...
it was through a window.
Yeah,
back window.
They through like a French door or back window.
It was a back window.
And they were walking up to us. And Roy was genuinely freaked out.
I wouldn't say freaked out, but it was definitely not comfy.
Yeah. So I got really excited because I knew exactly what this was. Black-Eyed Children. The original written documentation of this happened in about 1996.
Oh, God.
What?
Okay. I wasn't sure if that was muted, and I just clicked on a video.
Oh.
You're good. Keep going.
Cool. So the original documentation was made by a man named Brian Bethel in 1990. Well, the event happened in 96. The documentation happened in 97. And this was pre
Miss Roy, you
What?
can't see the cat on screen, and it looks...
Oh, no. Oh, God.
There's a cat right there. She's not feeling me up. She's petting the kitten.
Jesus Christ. Holy shit. Okay. We are so off the rails today.
Already, yep. Didn't take long.
So, Brian Bethel
Bethel.
wrote down his experience in a chat room. This was pre-Reddit, pre-4chan, pre-anything being creepypastas or copypastas or anything like that.
We're talking Web 1.0.
Yeah. Barely web. It was like, what? And he was just talking to people about an experience that he had. And it had happened a year prior. He had been in his hometown of Abilene, Texas. I think I'm saying that right. Abilene?
You're so cute, kitten.
And he had been going to his internet provider to write a check to drop it off to pay for his internet service. This is how old you know. This is how you know this story's old. And he had parked across from a movie theater that was showing like $1.50 movies as they were basically on their way out of the cinemas. And he's doing his check, whatever. And he suddenly... You good there, Roy?
Yeah, it just keeps deleting me.
Oh, okay. Well, here. I'm here. Sit still.
As you move, it's going to delete me again.
I swear to God. So, he's writing his check. He looks up, and there are two children suddenly in his window, in his side view window. And he is like, you know, kind of cracks the window. Is like, hey guys, what's up? And one seems to be a little bit older, maybe 15 to 17. And the other one seems to be a little bit younger, 8 to 10, let's say. Mm-hmm. And the older one starts talking to him and tells him very clearly, very concisely, we want to watch the movie and we forgot our money. Can you drive us back to our mom's house so that we can get our money and watch the movie? And he had driven people around before. It's a small town that he lived in.
Claws, man.
And...
Ow, that was my neck. Oh.
But something about this was uncomfortable for him. The child who was speaking was very, very clear and well-spoken. A bit too clear to be a typical child speaking. He spoke with a lot of confidence. Now, mind you, Brian Bethel was a reporter. So he had had experience... What?
She won't give me my hand back.
Oh.
I have to pet her.
Loves him.
Hey, no bite.
He'd had experience interviewing adults and children, and he said that his experience with interviewing children was always pretty consistent. They weren't confident in speaking to adults, and this was a very different experience. This boy was very confident speaking to him. And he was like, well, I mean, what movie are you seeing? And he pointed to the theater. He's like, it was Mortal Kombat. And the last showing had started about 15 minutes to a half hour before this conversation was happening. And you got your baby cat. She's a spoiledy baby. So this event happened about 15 minutes to a half hour into the movie starting. And then, if he had driven them to their mother's house, it would have been another, let's say, 15 minutes. So we're already 45 minutes to an hour into this movie. And then, coming back, the movie basically would have been done. Mm-hmm. There would have been no reason for these boys to want to go out and watch this movie. There wouldn't have been any time. But the older boy, kept demanding to be let into his car. And at one point he said, "Come on, mister, we're just little kids. It's not like we have a gun." So he was extremely freaked out, very suspicious of this whole incident. He had this just sense of dread that he should not be letting these children in. And at one point he looked back at the theater and then back at the children. And in doing so, these kids were wearing like hoodies. In doing so, he saw the kids' faces for the first time. And the kids had jet black eyes. Like, from the whole eyeball was jet black. Roy is finding you a picture.
Yes.
So
these are black-eyed children.
These are black-eyed children or black-eyed kids. Now, he referred to them in this piece that he wrote as black-eyed kids, or BEKs, and he's come out saying that he hates the acronym that he came up with. Ma'am, can you not bite my... Oh, that's better. Okay.
She wants to be the center of attention currently.
Yeah, she does. So he came out saying that he hated the acronym, but it just kind of stuck. And after that, a lot more stories started coming out about it. So he basically told them, fuck off.
Ow.
Not in so many words because they were children, but fuck off. I believe he looked away or was about to pull away or something. I can't remember exactly how he pulled away, kind of. Mm-hmm. But when he, looked away and then looked back, the kids were gone. Gone. Poof. Not in, nowhere to be seen. There was no time for these kids to have left and not be seen. So they were gone.
Sorry, I stopped petting you.
And ever since then, similar stories have been coming out. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the thing. There are people saying, oh, this is just a creepypasta. Yes, it came out before creepypastas were really a thing, but this is just a creepypasta.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have all of the telltale signs of a creepypasta. Yes, there are some rules to these children, but they're not nearly the same. It's not like if you blank, then you what?
I stopped petting her, and you just saw on the camera, Paul comes up and goes...
It's not the very well-defined rules that you get from other creepypastas.
Yes.
But most of the people who have talked about these encounters have not let these children in. It appears... just the 1 foot. It appears that they cannot come in unless you invite them in or allow them in.
So they're vampires.
That is one thought. However, I know. We have a vampire thing going on. We kind of have a fae thing going on because they're kind of a changeling. They're always children. Well, nearly always children. There have been a few encounters with adults, but nearly always children. They almost always travel in packs of 2. There has been encounters with a single one, but not very many. And they're almost always boys. There have been 1 or 2 girls, but they tend to be one older child who tends to be the spokesperson, mm-hmm. a younger child who tends to be silent, and they have jet black eyes somewhere between a high gloss full eye and a absolute void where it looks like they do not have an eye. So that's what we have on the screen right now is your image of a high gloss eye. And then that one's a void and it makes my skin crawl.
So for those of you listening on the podcast platforms, these are always available within a week or 2 of going live everywhere else on YouTube if you want to watch.
And they're available early on our Patreon if you want to see it early.
We use a lot of visuals in our podcast, so head over to the YouTube and check them out.
So, I am more freaked out by the void eye children, the void eye versions, mm-hmm. than I am the glossy ones. They aren't just, you're not going to get these super pale children.
Yeah.
It's not like they only come in one
shade
race.
Yeah.
The older boy in Brian Bethel's story was a more olive tone.
Okay.
There's another story from a woman who had more of an encounter with a girl who was of like indigenous Mexican descent.
Okay.
And they always want to come in. Sometimes they drop really weird anachronisms. They want to use your phone, okay? But they will not use your cell phone. They don't want your cell phone.
They want a landline.
They want a landline. Or sometimes they want a telegraph.
Huh.
There's been at least one documented case where they wanted a telegraph. They want to come with you. They want to be like a part of you. Sometimes their mother is coming to pick them up or their parents. They are nearly always alone, and there's been very few documented cases of people letting them in.
Well, yeah.
I think there have been 3 that I'm aware of. And you said vampires. I said, and there is a lot of question about what these are. Some say vampires, some say ghosts, some say fae, some say aliens. The aliens thing is very interesting.
Aliens.
The few, okay, so ghosts, they disappear as soon as you know. Fae, they clearly have some sort of glamour over them that keeps you from seeing that they have fucked up eyeballs immediately. They're kind of like a Ditto, like a Pokemon.
It's close, but not quite.
Yeah,
right.
It's always the eyes.
So it's uncanny valley.
Kind of.
That's how the black-eyed children thing works. It's close enough to a human to be recognizable, but not close enough to be guaranteed.
And also,
is this the one?
What? Oh God, no! I don't know if I want to look at this.
No, this is not the one. Oh, it's just some dude jumping.
Jesus.
It's not.
Like, I don't want to look at
I'm
this.
looking for the original video that I saw.
I know. Maybe take it. Oh, you are still off the screen. Okay. So while he's looking, these black-eyed children.
The problem is it went viral, so a bunch of people tried to remake it, and now I just got to deal with a bunch of people being stupid.
Mm-hmm. But what was I saying?
I have no idea.
Black-eyed kids, eyeballs, glamour, uncanny valley. Oh,
Telegraph.
So they never want to. They always need to be allowed into wherever you are, whether it's your car or your house or anything like that. Whatever is sending these beings, whatever they are, they're sending them because we are more likely to help a child than we are a grown being.
That definitely makes sense.
And they always go in pairs, which kind of makes sense because it's like, it's safer to travel in pairs. They always have a very distinct, clear way of speaking. There have been sightings of these in England contemporarily.
Okay.
And there have been, you keep pulling freaky shit up on the screen and I'm trying to not make eye contact with it because I'm a pansy.
That one was stupid.
Okay, well, I'm waiting for a jump scare and I don't want to accidentally hit you on the podcast.
Why not? That's a perfect clip for advertising.
Oh my God. Get the freaking cops called on us for abuse because you scared the crap out of me.
I can't find the video.
I don't know, love.
It's not. Usually I find what I'm looking for very quickly.
Pretty quickly, yeah. So, there have been occasions where people have let them in.
Yes.
And nothing good comes from this.
I can imagine.
This is where the alien idea comes from.
A little bit of probing. Ow, ma'am.
If only. Nothing happens. The kids don't do anything while they're in the house with you. So there have been 3 couples that I read about.
They're at an advanced scouting party.
That let you in. Or that let them in. Okay? One of them, later on, they found a tumor in one of the couples', I believe it was the husband's brain.
How fun.
Or thyroid. One or the other. They found a tumor.
I'm a tumor. Sorry.
It's not a tumor. The other one when the children were in getting a drink or calling their mom, quote unquote, or anything like that, one of the couple's nose started to bleed. Just gushing blood.
Neat.
And the last one ended up with burns all over their hands and arms.
Huh.
So, the thought is radiation, which is where the alien idea comes from.
Okay.
These children don't seem to be doing anything on their own, but they do seem to be radioactive.
You know what it could be? As you're listing out these things that happen, carbon monoxide poisoning can make you hallucinate, and it can make you do things that you don't remember doing, like trying to cook food, burning the shit out of your hand, turning the stove off, and going back to sleep. If the CO2 levels are high enough, all of these effects can happen, but if they're low enough, it won't kill you.
Okay. But explain the car then.
I don't know. Car.
I mean, it was 1996. How long ago did we stop being able to suffocate ourselves in cars?
You still can suffocate yourself in a car if you have an exhaust
Okay.
leak.
Huh. So, I mean, it's possible. But also, why is it always the same?
Because it stands out in your memory. If you hallucinate a child with black eyes.
Yeah, but, like, it seems hyper-specific. Like, you know? But I see what you're saying. But I
think radon gas does the same thing, and that's radioactive.
Oh.
But it doesn't explain the car.
I don't know. Were they doing any sort of experimentation with radioactivity in Abilene in the 90s?
Not that I'm aware of, but that was also the 90s, and it takes like 50 years before you learn about shifty government programs.
It's also possible that those were happening
Wait, where did you say it was?
Abilene, Texas. Abilene. Look. Told you.
Hold on. Let's do a little bit of...
The Googs.
Let's do Abilene, Texas, you said?
Uh-huh.
Let's see where it is. On maps, not images, you think. There's Abilene, Texas. Dallas, Fort Worth.
Okay. Oh, it's dead center.
Dead center.
Like, I don't think you could get more dead center of Texas. That's a little creepy.
No, just running on a... I know we did nuclear tests out in the center of Texas somewhere.
Okay.
Nevada and Texas. And I'm wondering if it's downwind of...
Nuclear testing.
Here we go. Oh, no.
Pantex nuclear facility?
Nuclear weapons assembly.
Okay, but high plains of the Texas Panhandle, 17 miles northeast of where?
I'm going to end up on a list.
Yupper. Amarillo by morning.
That's just up top, so that's not it. Just a random side thought.
But yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Like, either it's radioactive hallucinations or...
aliens.
Radioactive children. Like
the hills have eyes. Well, the hills have no eyes.
The hills have jet black eyeballs. So one of the situations, the one where I believe the man ended up with a tumor, after the children left.
It is not a tumor.
After the children called their parents, they were headed outside, and the husband and wife looked out the door or window, and there were two tall male silhouettes waiting for them. First of all, black-eyed children, LGBT inclusive. Two dads, okay.
So that video that I saw that originally kickstarted this whole thing was it was two children peering through the window from some dude's backyard.
Right.
They were standing in the backyard, and then the guy's looking out the window, and he sees two kids. He shifts to another window to get a better look, and when he looks out, there's now two adults behind them. They start closing in very, very slowly on the window. He shifts windows again, and they're gone.
There were more than two adults.
I remember two adults.
Okay, I remember, I guess I just kind of remember the general vibe. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. They were They were closing in, and it was very uncomfortable.
He like shined a flashlight or something, and then they were gone.
Yeah, it was pretty awful.
Yeah, it made my hair stand up, which is not.
And it's
usual.
currently
Yeah.
standing on end as he's thinking about it.
There's not much that makes my body go nope, but that did.
Yeah.
I currently have goosebumps just thinking about it.
And his body going nope is making mine go nope. So everybody is free. Okay, so the children.
Yes.
They were thought to have been taken away by these adult silhouettes who were black-eyed adults or
Aliens.
possibly the Men in Black. Like the actual Men in Black that they talk about after Mothman sightings and after UFO sightings.
Okay.
I don't know nearly enough about the Men in Black. I actually tried to do some more research.
And it's a Walt Disney Frozen situation.
It's a Walt Disney Frozen. It's also... Oh, shit. I hadn't thought about that before. Walt Disney Frozen, Men in Black, time travel. Mm-hmm. Oh, there's my independent creepy hairs.
Yeah, isn't that amazing when folklore rises up and starts to draw attention to something that makes a whole lot of sense? All of a sudden, a movie's released. That's all you can see.
Yep.
When you search it.
Floods
the internet.
What other options do we have about that?
Philadelphia Project.
And they made that movie's just not good.
They released a whole bunch of stuff in the Philadelphia Project to make it so people remember when they're talking about. You could read about the Philadelphia Project, but if you've seen the movie will come to mind first.
Because it has visuals and you're gluing things together in your mind.
Which makes it seem more like a conspiracy theory. No, I have dry skin.
Oh yeah.
See.
Yeah, I see the antenna hairs sticking up. What's the other one? The Dyatlov Pass movie that came out, and that one...
That one was actually probably radiation.
God, I have so many thoughts about Dyatlov Pass. We're gonna have to do an entire episode on Dyatlov Pass.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
That was, well, but okay. So it could have been. Wait, no. Scroll back up for a second. Okay. This one. Click on that one. Who's the guy that plays the good doctor?
I don't remember his name.
He was also Norman Bates in Bates Motel.
He was also Charlie in the Chocolate Factory.
And he was also the little kid in Finding Neverland.
I don't know what his name is.
But that looks like him.
Yeah. Let's save you with the power of autism. Sorry.
It's not wrong, though.
I hate The Good Doctor. It is a terrible representation of autism.
Yeah, it does.
It's so bad.
Yeah. If you want better autism recommendations, we'll find you some. House.
Yeah, House is also autistic. And it's probably way more accurate.
So much more. Because they're not admitting it. Anyway. So, those children got taken away by their adults. There is another incident, because there's questions as to who is deploying these children and who is in charge. And if these children are evil or a negative energy, is there a positive or a good? One of the other incidents where the children came up, afterwards, So, these kids come up and they want to come in and he's like, piss off, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm done, go away. And they won't leave. So he's like, I've got a shotgun. And he's just goes off to get his gun. Okay. A bit much for two kids, but let's hear him out.
That's my neighbor when I was a kid who shot me with rock salt, asshole.
Oh, fair. I wonder... pause on that. Remember the rock salt thing.
They end up being ghosts and it works.
That's what I was thinking. If it did work, like if it was actually... Oh, sweet baby. If it was actually rock salt and they were actually ghosts, like, just bap and they're gone. So he comes back with his gun and the children are gone. Gone, poof. But in their place is a little girl, dressed all in white,
Now we're on Lady in White.
But it's a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a full-size Lady in White.
Spirit of the Mountain.
Okay. But she's facing away from him. She doesn't seem to want to come in. She seems to have chased off the children. She's...
It's like, no, get away. I'm going to eat him.
Basic, kind of. But she's also like, as she's facing away from him, she's like, did you see where those two kids went? And he's like, no. And she's like, don't worry, they won't be back to bother you. And she turns around and her eyes are Snow White. And this one feels a bit copypasta, creepypasta, but still, like
someone took the idea and ran with it.
Like, it is a bit on the nose, but it is interesting. Is she purring? It's an interesting idea of, like, that, you know, opposite of it. But these have shown up. Everybody's arguing, you know, it just now appeared and started in the 90s, in the internet age. Couple of things. One, it didn't. It started before this.
Yeah, there's sightings in Appalachia all the way back as long as humans have been in Appalachia. I know that's not how you say it. That's how I'm saying it.
No, it is. It is.
Appalachia?
It's not Appalachia. It's Appalachia, because if you say it wrong, I'll throw an Appalachia. That's how they teach it to not Appalachians. It's Appalachia. Anyway, there are documented cases from the 50s where she is going to eat you in your sleep.
She doesn't care.
But the thing is they are using the vernacular of the time. It's a demon child. It's a devil child. It's just evil. They're not saying, like, it's a black-eyed kid. It's dressed in relatively appropriate clothing. Nowadays, they generally wear hoodies and carry skateboards, or one girl...
Goddamn hoodlums.
Hoodlums. Wait, is that where the term hoodlum comes from?
I have no idea.
I think that deserves a Google later on. But...
Yes, kid, you can snuggle in.
They want to come with you to your house because they're lost or they're cold. There's this so the story I was talking about earlier with the little girl who ran into the native Mexican-looking little girl, instead of having a skateboard, she had a stroller. And there was a small child in the stroller, which was the younger child of the two. And you couldn't see the baby. And it was probably about toddler size, like medium-aged toddler, still appropriate to be in a stroller.
I don't think I think they were changelings I'm thinking of, but...
Oh, okay. Well,
an episode of Supernatural.
Yes. The one where they were the little lamprey children?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they come up in other literature besides contemporary. What time is it? How long have we been...
We've been going for 41 minutes.
Okay. Why don't we take a short break?
Okay.
And when we come back, I will tell you about the historical.
Okay, sounds good. I need to pee anyway.
Okay.
Everybody get up, go stretch your legs. We'll see you in 3 to 5 minutes.
BRB?
And we're back.
Hello.
Hello.
We're back.
Welcome back. So, while we were on break,
Faces.
Oh, faces. We had a little mini discussion. So I don't know a whole lot about this topic. I only learned about it like last year, and I haven't done any deep diving or digging on it yet. But I pulled up this because I was wondering if they were in the show Supernatural. And the Redditor here makes a really good point that the black-eyed children are demons. Now, in Supernatural lore, demons don't have to ask to enter your home. But in most lore, demons do in fact have to ask. Black eyes are associated with demons, making deals and showing up at night, all associated with demons. These black-eyed children could be demons.
Demonlets.
And if you think about demon possession through history, it almost always happens in children and teens. Very rarely does a person, an adult, have a demon possess it. So
Okay.
maybe it's just there's a pair of demons going around trying to make a deal, but they can't make a deal until they come in. Or they're scouting out for the higher level demons to come make the deal. This person's willing to let us into the house.
Mm-hmm. So who's to say what they'll let us into besides that?
And I don't think hell has Wi-Fi, so that's why they need a landline. I don't know. It's just a thought.
Hell definitely does not have Wi-Fi. I love it. So there are 2 historical occurrences.
Go ahead. When I'm talking, you should be visible.
I know, but I kind of like when you're visible too. There are 2 historical, like historical occurrences of black-eyed children or black-eyed entities of some kind. There was a discussion about why you don't call them black-eyed entities, because then they would just be bees. But in Iroquois tradition, if you're not familiar, if you're from outside the U.S. or outside of, like...
New York.
Yeah.
Most people don't know about the Iroquois.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Weirdos.
Their territory was upstate New York and Vermont.
Fair. Okay.
That's why we learn about them in our schools.
Mm-hmm.
But
people
in Florida don't need to know about the Iroquois.
Right, because they're learning more about the Seminoles and things like that.
Yeah, they're learning about the ones that fought back.
Mm-hmm. Where are you going?
Apparently down.
Elevator going down. So...
Let's see if there's Wi-Fi down here.
We should make that a shirt. Hell doesn't have Wi-Fi. What the hell was that noise?
That?
Yeah.
That was me kicking the desk by accident.
Oh, scared the crap out of me.
Sorry, headphone users.
So, in Iroquois tradition, there are 2 different kinds of energy. One is called Atkan, and one is called Orinda. And I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of those, but I'm trying. I believe it's Orinda that is the positive energy, and Atkan is the negative energy. And there are a couple of occurrences in which you get black-eyed children. One of the ideas is that there is an overall evil entity, and that he will have children with unsuspecting women, and those children will come out with black eyes. And so babies with black eyes didn't last long.
Yeah.
It was not cute. Sorry, trigger warning. I don't like it either. And then the other way was children would wander into the woods, and the evil entity would steal their Atkan and steal their Orinda, I think, and replace it with Atkan. And
steal the good juju, replace it with bad juju.
Yes, and it would cause their eyes to turn from whatever color they were beforehand to all black. And this is how you got, like, black-eyed children that were actually child size. And they would become evil little entities themselves. The other historical occurrence that I was listening about was mealings.
What's that?
A mealing is... So, at first I thought they were like changelings, but they're not changelings per se. Mealings happened when babies who were born were not named and they were abandoned, usually an out-of-wedlock situation or a secret pregnancy, things like that. So they would
prom night dumpster baby.
Yeah.
I didn't come up with that. That's a Family Guy joke. Plain Family Guy.
So yes, you've got a prom night dumpster baby issue. And these children would obviously die, and they would come back as children with black eyes.
Ghosts.
Entities. Because they were like, they did have corporealness.
Ah.
So, zombies? Ish? What?
I don't know. Just making faces.
Oh, okay.
Trying to distract you. Is it working?
I love you. So they would come back and take vengeance on either their parent or children born to their parents. Are you afraid of the dark?
It just felt appropriate.
What?
It just felt appropriate given the topic.
Yeah. They would take vengeance on their parents or on their future siblings, because they weren't given a proper burial or a name. And so I guess... Oh, did I actually say where Mealings are from?
No.
Psh.
If you guys can't tell, we don't have our super research cheat sheet up today. We're just kind of off the cuff with this one.
I have my super research in here, but it's not physically written down because it would have all been a single note. You know what I mean? It wasn't divvied up well. So this is Scandinavian.
Okay.
So Sweden,
Finland,
Norway. I know Sweden for sure. Don't quote me on the rest of them.
Norway and Finland are all right there in Scandinavia as well.
Okay. But I also know that some things are considered Scandinavia and some things are not. And I don't know who is what, so. But if you encounter one of these children, they will demand a name. And you can tell them, you can have mine. And that's usually enough to kind of and then tell them your name. And that's usually enough to appease them. But this is me sitting here going, that's some Fae shit.
Here's me going, okay, your name is Bob. And just name them all Bob.
Uh-huh.
There, every last one, you're all Bob. You're a girl, you're Bob. I don't care. You asked for a name, I gave you a name. Now go build something, Bob.
Hold on.
I know better than give a strange woodland entity my name. Bob! Forgot about Bob. I'm sorry, Bob. Please don't murder me in my sleep. Okay. We have our own Fae.
So,
we're not superstitious.
But we're also not super stupid. So this is Bob.
I love how Bob is deleting you from existence.
Yeah. So this is Bob. He appeared in a box of gifts that Roy's grandmother gave us.
Tell me your name. Don't tell him your name.
And he appeared at a time when we really kind of needed him, because apparently he is a gonk, and it is a very specific type of gnome creature.
No eyes visible is a gonk.
Yeah, his hat and his beard. So he basically is a nose. But his name is Bob. It's Oswald.
Yeah, I know.
His name is Bob because we decided he needed to have a name. But he's our buddy.
The camera is out of focus. What's going on there? I don't like that.
Oh.
So removing Bob from the frame. Okay, I'm putting Bob back in his hidey hole.
Okay.
Bob, you're freaking me out.
So we're very kind to Bob. Spoodles has a relationship with Bob. We're not sure what it is.
Yeah, Spoots and Bob like to fight.
Yeah.
So Bob is our resident Fae, because he appeared under the circumstances that a gonk would appear. Mm-hmm. He likes to move.
On occasion.
And the cat really seems to think he's alive because it's constantly trying to eat him.
Out of everything in this house, she just beats the shit out of Bob. She'll throw him in the sink because he lives in the window above our sink. So yeah, that's why we don't give Mealing, okay, the lore is you're supposed to give them your name and they'll leave you alone, but that is sus to me. I would be too scared to give some sort of unknown entity my name.
I feel really bad that I said Bob because of Bob, and now he's just like, oh, I thought you were giving me a name, but you give the same name to all Fae.
Well, we also kind of know his name's probably Mortimer.
Yeah, true.
It's okay, Mortimer. Bob. Mortimer, Bob.
He's Bob. They want a name, they get the name. Bob. They're lucky it wasn't Steve or Fred. That's what I name my spiders.
Anyway. But...
There's the ADHD.
Yep, there it is. But, the other thing is, if you do encounter them and they are related to you, they will take vengeance upon you for not having buried them properly. So one of the other things you have to do if you encounter a mealing is you have to find where their body is and give them a proper burial. So...
Seems legit.
Yeah, that's changeling, but like it just shows up everywhere. They genuinely show up everywhere, and pre-internet.
It's like the Lady of the Mountain in Philippine folklore exists on every continent in some form or another, but they're all a lady that is completely covered in white. She only comes out during the at night in the mountains, and if you see her, that's basically the last thing you're supposed to see, which doesn't make any sense, because then how do people know about it? But despite the fact, I know in the Philippines, you do not want to go into the mountains at night because the snakes are out, and the mosquitoes will eat you alive, literally.
And, I don't know, would the bees wake up if you ran into them?
Yeah, you don't want to stumble into one of the beehives. The scorpions are out in force. The centipedes are out in force.
The ants.
The ants are out in force. You don't go into the mountains at night in the jungle. You just don't. You could bump into a fertile ant or a cobra and not even know it's there.
And that is how they keep you out of the woods. If you're too dumb or too little to understand, don't get eaten by a snake.
In the Philippines, they actually have... They talk about fairies living in the abandoned termite mounds.
Okay.
So you get these big cylinders of termite mounds, and a lot of times ants will go in, they'll kill the termites, and the mound will be empty.
Uh-huh.
The problem is, other things like to move into said mounds.
The snakes or scorpions?
Yes.
Oh, God.
And bees.
Oh, boy.
So the big Philippine helicopter bees I always talk about, the massive bumblebees with the necrotic sting, will set up their nests inside of these termite mounds to the point where most adults over there won't go anywhere near the termite mounds.
Okay.
And when we were cutting them down in the to make room for the building, there was a couple we had to get through. One of them was full of cobras.
Oh, God.
There was 3 cobras that came out of it, and luckily we're pretty quick on the draw with the machetes. And then another one was full of scorpions.
Are there...
We got lucky. We didn't get any of the big bees.
I'm going to regret this question. Are there spiders in the Philippines?
Yes.
Do I hate them?
Probably.
Okay. You don't need to Google them.
I'm not. I'm Googling the bees.
Okay.
Because these things are...
Jesus H.
wild.
We don't exist, or it doesn't exist yet.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, I know. I'm looking for the right image. There's one.
Aw.
That's a Philippine bee.
He's cute.
Yeah, until they're not.
I know, but he's a chubby boy.
So they're basically a gigantic bumblebee. They sound like a helicopter flying overhead.
Oh, Lord.
And the issue with these bees is that they're very calm, they're very friendly. But if you make one sting you, it releases a pheromone that tells every bee within like a 2 or 3 square mile radius that you are no good, and each sting is necrotic, so it'll cause, it's like a spider bite. It'll cause your flesh to melt.
Jesus Christ.
You can always hear them going over though, because it sounds like a little helicopter or plane flying over.
So, if we're going for the entities and myths as logical reasons to avoid a thing or to do a thing, what do you think the black-eyed kids would be?
Not to go out alone at night, not to trust strangers, not to let strangers into your home.
Okay.
Appalachia.
Even if we go far back?
Yeah, Appalachia's known for these things. Like, don't whistle in the woods. If you hear your name, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't. I want to do an entire episode on Appalachian folklore and mysteries because that scares the shit out of me. Maybe that should be our next Halloween. You can do it and scare the crap out of me.
The Philippines also has one of the smallest varieties of bees.
Invisibees.
These ones are actually too big. They're sweat bees.
Yeah. And if you just see everyone running, just keep running.
Yeah. If the locals are all scattering into the bush, you scatter into the bush. You don't wait to figure out why.
We have devolved so hard.
Yeah, we have. We ended up on bees.
Black-eyed children are bees.
Well, yeah.
They are bees.
Full circle.
Yes. Kumbaya. Full circle. What time is it?
It is 11:35. We've been going for an hour and 3 minutes.
An hour and 3 minutes?
Yeah. We spun up for about 4 minutes, so we're at almost the hour mark.
Nailed it?
Yeah.
Nailed it. Okay. I think that is about good.
I think we're good too.
Okay, so guys, if you enjoyed whatever this was, join us. We are on Patreon. We Don't Do Small Talk podcast. Did we introduce ourselves in the beginning of this?
I don't know. I think we did. I hope we did. We'll find out in post.
Oh, Lord help me. Oh, it has been a day, y'all. We're still recovering from Halloween, but we have a Patreon. We Don't Do Small Talk on Patreon. Our beacons.ai will be in the description of this episode. beacons.ai/wddstpod. We are on Twitter. We are on all of your podcasting platforms.
Good pod. Oh, hi, Johnny 5e.
Where is he? Hi.
You caught us right at the end of the stream.
We're recording our podcast.
The VOD will be available on my Twitch, Royal Color Games 1, for about a week before it auto-deletes. Then the audio goes live on podcast platforms.
Tomorrow-ish.
That could take upwards of a week. And then about a week after it goes up, the YouTube video goes up.
Theoretically.
And there's a Patreon upload somewhere in there, too.
I'm a bit behind on the YouTube upload. So we'll fix it. I'm fixing it. I'm fixing it. So, find us. Come love us. Rate, review, subscribe. Send us emails, wddstpod@gmail.com. Send us your info dumps that everyone you know is sick of hearing, and amuse us. We might use it on a listener episode. And on that note, in case we didn't say it in the beginning, we
don't do small talk podcast.
Miss Roy,
Royal Color Games.
Jesus Christ. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
You know, that's at the end, the head slam
Yes.
and the owl, because I missed click. I went to put pod only up and then click desktop by accident.
Hey, you've reached WDDST Podcast with Miss Roy and Royal Color Games. You can't come to the phone right now, but if you love what you heard, make sure you rate, review, and subscribe on your favorite listening platform. Stay connected to us on Twitter and catch us live on Twitch at Royal Color Games 1. Craving more chaos? Visit our website, wddstpod.wixsite.com/We Don't Do Small Talk for merch and other updates. Support for this podcast comes from listeners like you and us right now. Join our Patreon to keep this mess going and to get more bonus goodies. Until next time, embrace knowledge and embrace chaos. Oh, and if you have an episode suggestion for us, leave a message after the beep at wddstpod@gmail.com.